This is Dan from Peterson Farms Cerberus Live Scan. Welcome back to Solutions for the Firearm Industry. This is episode 3. We're going to talk through the NFA form types. If you joined us for episodes 1 and 2, we talked about the SOT and special occupation tax, as well as the eForms account creation. So check those out if you haven't seen them. This one, we're going to talk through the different forms that we use to do NFA transfers and movement and creation. So with that, let's get. So this is put something together to talk through the various forms that are out there. The red box is, if you can see it on the video, is the most highly used ones. Those are forms 1 through 4. And then there's 5, 6, 9, and 10. Those are less likely used if you're in that side of the business. But just talking through them from top to bottom. So a form 1 is a application to make. So that will take a item that is currently bits and pieces and put it onto the NFA registry. That is done by a private citizen, a non-licensee, so that they are allowed to make their SBR, their silencer, or whatnot. That is done by the individual that is making it, and they can that private party will make it, submit it to the ATF. The ATF will approve it, and then at that point you can complete the build and assembly. So that's a form 1, and again, that's done basically, that's a private party make. A form 2 is a licensee make. So that is a manufacturer, a 0702 licensee FFL that has their '07 license and their '02 type of SOT, special occupational tax. That is a notification of manufacturing. So when the FFL makes the item, they can submit the list of serial numbers that were created, and that will put it onto the NFA registry, which then makes it available for movement on a Form 3. A Form 3 is the movement and tax-free transfer, so there's no taxes paid on it, to go from a manufacturer or a warehouse or a FFL with an SOT to another SOT. So if a manufacturing company, silencer company makes a suppressor, they are then going to sell it to a warehouse or distributor. That would move from the manufacturer to the warehouse on a Form 3. And then from the warehouse to the FFL would again move on another Form 3 to update where that item is on the registry and who owns it to move it down. So that's the Form 3. It is the tax-free transfer between licensee to licensee. A Form 4 is probably the item that we use to take it from a licensee, an FFL, to a private citizen or private entity. And that can be done and we'll talk about that in the next episode on what the entity types are, but an individual, a trust, a corporation, etc. That is done on a Form 4. That's the same form. The Form 4 is also used to move from a private party to another private party. So say somebody wants to sell a silencer or a suppressor, they can sell it to somebody else, and that would move that paper Form 4 would be used to move it from an individual to, say, a trust, or from an individual to another individual. And also, it is the tool that is used to intake the firearm to an FFL. So to say that an NFA item is already on a Form 4 out to a private citizen or to a corporation or a trust, and that FFL wants to buy it back, they have to do a paper Form 4 to get it back into their inventory. Once it's back in the FFL's inventory, then they can do a Form 3 to move it around. That's also could be used for interstate sales. So say a private citizen wants to sell an item cross state lines. It actually has to get intaked into an FFL with an SOT on a Form 4. Then it would go from a Form 4, then it would go as a Form 3 to that other state FFL. And then that other state FFL would then do the Form 4 to the other residents. So paperwork and movement. All right, the less common ones, the Form 5, 6, 9, and 10. The Form 5 is a special tax-free transfer. Typically, this is done for estates as well as government type transfers. So individual passes away, not on a trust, and it's going to go to their heirs or beneficiaries, then the executor of the estate would request and initiate and work with an FFL to initiate the Form 5. That would then get it to the beneficiaries. Also, government sales, a Form 5 can be used to do that transfer. Form 6 is basically an import form. Form 9 is an export form. And then the Form 10 is a government make or acquire type piece. Can also be, not that very familiar with it, but can also be slightly interchangeable with a Form 5. So a Form 5 could be used instead of a Form 10. But as I understand it, the Form 10 is also how the government could make a firearm if they're making it. So again, the most common ones, Form 1, 2, 3, and 4. The Form 1 is a private citizen or private entity making a new NFA item. A Form 2 is a licensee that is making an NFA item, typically a manufacturer with a 0702. A Form 3 is how things move through commerce. So basically from that manufacturer to another SOT, from manufacturer to a warehouse, manufacturer to an FFL, warehouse to FFL, and then FFL to FFL. That's how items move in through industry on the Form 3. And then the Form 4 is what many people are familiar with and what we're using to sell and move items to our customers. And that would be what we create from the FFL to the SOT. So quick summary on what it's all about. Hope that makes sense. If you get a chance, check out our website. Can be found at petersonfarmsusa.com. That's where you can find out two of our products, our main products. So Cerberus Live Scan is our fingerprinting EFT solution, customer management, as well as some automation to help with the Form 4 process. And then Merlin is our search tool that we can use to pull in currently 11 different suppliers and distributors, all the information on one location as opposed to flipping through 9, 10, 12 different websites, web tabs, trying to find where it's at, what the price is, and where everything's going on. And then last is share our podcast. If you find this beneficial and informational, get it out there. This is episode 3, NFA Forms. My name is Dan. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message and give me a call.